Finally, the long-awaited massive fart is here. Developers can only hope that it's an impressive fart and not a small squeak before they shit their pants instead. And with that wonderful introduction, I'll proceed to recap all the new features and things we get from this thunder fart of a content release. Starting off with the thing that everyone's most hyped about, like a kitten about to pounce on something shiny. The ships. Aw, gotta be the cutest analogy I've ever made. Anyways. Phantom being a cheaper and more stripped Crate 2, coming at the price of 37 million and about to dethrone the Asp Explorer as the next great exploration ship, having more space and forcing itself into the third furthest jumping ship rank, like dildos get forced into crevices in German porn. And Mamba, good looking yet useless thing for 55 million. Seriously, ask yourself, why would you get that instead of a Ferdinand? Then we have graphical changes, some more contrast, some color changes, details and things that I'll tell you about a little bit later. For now, TheYamiks tries to be informative and quick about it. Oh, and the ships now have night vision. TheYamiks of course would have preferred to have his black and white color scheme, but you can't get everything you want. But the biggest addition and change for the game in this update is to exploration. Basically it works just like the old one, minus revealing all the celestial bodies in the system on the honk. But as a bonus, you don't need to go to planets to scan them. You can still do that if you want to, but you don't need to. And after testing Road to Riches, if the values for the objects remain the same, well, it becomes more lucrative, from the constant 13 million an hour to about 18 to 19 million an hour. Yes, I have the data and it is tested. Also, then there's the surface mapping too. The detailed surface scanner becomes now the Probulator 3304. So of course, probing Uranus is in order. Anyways, and now you won't ever need to go to a fucking planet and search manually for the thing, well, to find. This is so fucking good. Seriously, you want to find geysers? Boom, done without looking into third-party sites. Aliens? Boom, those two. I love this. And I've already said this, but the big exploration and science gold rush is on. So if you're a devoted space nerd and you like just such a thing, it's time to play Elite. Next we have mining. 4 new mining tools that include also new cargo that you get from exploding asteroids that pay notably more. But while mining hasn't changed much, just gained a few little things to add to the gameplay, the general mining laser gameplay is still the primary source, unless you overly go out of your way not to use it. And yet, the end result, the money you get from mining, including the new tools and new high-paying commodities, is still abysmal. And no, TheYamiks ain't gonna do another 24-hour mining stream. That was horrible enough and I didn't even finish it. Just no. On the brighter side, now we have squadrons. Oh, wait, that's not the brighter side. Sorry, those were lies. First off though, if you want to join the Dead Horse Squadron to show that 500 is not enough for a player limit, and mutual Dead Horse beatings. Anyways, squadrons are basically half-baked guild system that will allow anyone to create a squadron for a fee, yet won't allow everyone to join a squadron, just 500 players maximum. Where's the logic in that? Okay, TheYamiks, stay objective. Try to stay objective. Right, you get squadron leaderboards and in Squadron Browser you will see only 100 squadrons maximum. And there is no view all the squadrons button or a menu. So enjoy! Okay, now, on to something actually more positive. In fact, the second most liked feature for me, the Codex. This, personal love diary will host most of the data you had in the statistics part of your ship menus. Then it will also list all the discoveries around the galaxy with rumored discoveries, i.e. developers set out hints for new content. This is objectively better than those quote-unquote puzzles and other small crap that they sprinkled on stations and beacons in the past to lead players somewhere. Oh, and Codex will also host the audio logs from places that you visited, as well as some lore of the main forces in the galaxy. And they will be voice acted. Yes, wonderfully voice acted stuff. Man, this is so good. And speaking of discoveries, new alien things have been spotted in the deep, dark depths near the nebulae. So it's time to get out there and truly discover something unseen. After that, developers also decided to flesh out the unidentified signal sources and combat zones and a few little other events in the game that will be now voice acted and with objectives. Just fleshing out and voice acting, that's about it. It's a positive thing for sure, just that it's not as impressive as the other two things that I mentioned. And that's about it. Oh, right! I almost forgot about the thing that I simply cannot care less about. The background sim gets some added things and apparently it makes it better. At least that's what people been saying. So, there you go. And we also get a Targoid incursion state for systems now. And basically a reskinned combat zone, but with Targoids. So that would be it, more or less, about the objective portion. The link for the patch notes is in the description down below. Now then, on to the opinions. First off then, graphical changes. It seems that the job was given to an amateur or a novice in the field, and the poor fucker just oversaturated and overbrightened and overpolluted our screens. To a point that a lot of folks will now have a new gameplay to enjoy called having a migraine. For me, the biggest issue is the increased bloom and color bleed, and the stupid fogs cluttering the rings. The stations too have suffered a lot from these changes, that now the high-tech and other different types of stations just look bland and colorless. But hey, you got the motherfucking fog! Hey kids, Elite has all the fucking fog you need, and all the god rays, because god rays, so cool. But as for the filters and color changes, it just feels like all the settings have been turned up too much. That some details get washed out and other ones get over darkened. Though what do I know, I'm not an artist or photo editor. I'm a video editor, but it still feels off to me. Then moving on to Squadrons, and I got one question. Just why? The whole thing is a massive why. Why do we need leaderboards? Why do we need to pay to open a squadron? Why do we have 500 player limit? Why can't we see more than 100 squadrons when browsing something? And why is there no view all squadrons menu? Just why? Why can't we have a decent and usable guild system without needless gimmicks or stupid restrictions? This to me was the main feature of the year, and it's mostly fucked. Yes, we get Codex and exploration that are surprisingly fucking awesome. Seriously, I love almost all of it, but squadrons are extremely important for the game's longevity, and it's fucked. Then mining. Yeah, it looks worse with the pixelated UI from the pulse scanner, that most of the time, in beta at least, glitched out and didn't show the nearby asteroid's, hotness. And the added tools at this point are just extra fiddle fucking around for the gameplay that is already the most fiddle fuckiest in the game, while providing basically a coughed up phlegm as payment for your efforts in comparison to the missions. And finally the Codex. Yeah, it already needs a UI redesign on the discoveries page. Overall, the update has massive letdowns from the graphics, squadrons and mining part, yet at the same time has some fucking awesome things like Codex and exploration. Oh, and some okay features like the tired old shiny dangling ballsack called the new ships. For me, now it's easy to recommend Elite for space explorer type players, but for everyone else, yeah, it's a poor showing and not the best conclusion for the year. And unfortunately, here's an addendum. On the launch, server performance was going up and down like yo-yos. The server hamsters were dying by the millions, it seemed. And while you might think that on the patch day it's a normal thing for servers to be basically broke as fuck, in beta we experienced exactly the same issues, and because of that, it simply shows that Frontier are not capable of doing a patch day correctly, even when they are shown that there will be problems. And this is not an isolated accident. I wouldn't be making a addendum if this would be the case. See, it seems that every patch gets worse and worse, and it doesn't place the company and the dev team in a good light. I really would have loved to talk about Codex and exploration and even mining, but here we are questioning their competence at actually doing something right. And it goes without saying that instance performance doesn't help either in this argument. So basically, you know what to do. It's just a shame that this sort of stuff is overshadowing anything good.